From unsolved mysteries to unexplained phenomena, from comedy gold to relationship fails, Amazon Music's got the most ad-free top podcasts, included with Prime. Because the only thing that should interrupt your listening is, well, nothing. Download the Amazon Music app today.
What if I told you that being a single parent is not a roadblock to entrepreneurial success, but instead might actually be your secret superpower? Well, stay tuned as I reveal how the very skills that you use to juggle parenthood are the exact same ones that could make you the very successful entrepreneur you dream, desire, and deserve. Plus, I'll share the one mindset shift that helps parents build six-figure income businesses while still making it to every single soccer game.
Hey there, audacious parents. Welcome to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, where we're not just about surviving, we're about thriving. If you're tuning in, you're not looking for just another feel-good, pat-on-the-back kind of show. No. You're here because you're ready to disrupt the status quo. You're ready because you're here to challenge your limits and to step out of the comfort zone where we know growth never happens. This is not just your average, let's all be happy with our 9-to-5 lives kind of podcast. We're here to give you actionable strategies. We're here to dive deep into the world of side hustles, digital marketing, and smart income boosting tactics. Why, you may ask? Because we're designed for parents like you, parents juggling family expenses, childcare, and the elusive me time. We're not just about making money, though. We're about designing a life that you dictate, not one that's been prepackaged in a soul-sucking 9-to-5 box. So, if you're ready to break free and design a life that aligns with your dreams, design a life that aligns with your family, you're in the right place. The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Man, do I have an episode for you. And this one, my friends, yeah, it hits a little close to home. It reminds me of a moment way back in the 90s when I was still trying to juggle being effectively a single dad working at Coca-Cola and dreaming of building something of my own. I remember there was one morning, my daughter Talia was a bit sick. I had a presentation that was due at work, and my side hustle, well, let's just say it needed a little bit of attention. Talk about feeling like I was being pulled in every single direction. But here's the thing. That exact morning taught me something super powerful that changed everything for me. You see, when you're backed into a corner, you're like that cat. You're just ready to come out and attack. When you feel like you've got way too many balls up in the air, that's exactly when your entrepreneurial, your parental entrepreneurial superpowers can kick in. And that's what we're going to dive into today. We're going to talk about how being a single parent isn't just another challenge that you have to overcome. It's actually your secret weapon into the entrepreneurial world. Yeah, you heard me right. Those same skills that you use to manage the household solo, to juggle schedules like a circus performer, and still somehow are able to make it to every single school event. Those are the skills. Those are the exact same skills that can make you a very successful entrepreneur. So here's what we're going to unpack today. First, we're going to talk about what I call the single parent advantage. Yeah, you've got advantages that others do not have, and I'm going to prove it to you. Then we're going to dive into what I call the strategic success triangle. 3 key ways that would transform how you build your business. And finally, I'm going to share a little flexible business blueprint that fits into your life, not the other way around. But before we dive in, I want you to do something for me. It won't cost you anything. I want you to pause for a second and acknowledge something. You are, my friend, are already doing something super incredible. You are raising kids. Some of you are raising those kids on your own, and you're still here on this podcast right this very minute, taking steps to build something bigger, to build something better, to build something brighter, to build something maybe larger than you can even imagine. That right there, that's the kind of grit that successful businesses are built upon. So, let me ask you something. How many times have you read business success advice that says, wake up at 4 a.m. or spend the first 3 hours of your day on your entrepreneurial endeavor, on your new business? Yeah, right? You feel me? When was the last time that you, as a parent, let alone a single parent, had 3 uninterrupted hours of anything? You feel me, right? So here's the problem with traditional business advice. It's written for people with traditional support systems. But you, my friend, you and I both know that's not your reality. And you know what? I think that's actually a good thing. Let me tell you why traditional business advice fails my entrepreneurial parents, especially my single entrepreneurial parents. It assumes that you have resources that you do not have. Maybe some of you do, but most of you will not. But more importantly, it completely overlooks the incredible resources that you do have. Think about it for a second. Every single day, you, my friend, as an entrepreneurial parent, are already managing multiple priorities without dropping the ball. You're making quick decisions that impact others. You're handling crisis management like a pro, and you, my friend, are running logistics that would make an Amazon warehouse manager jealous. Yeah, okay? Single parents do not need more time management tips. No. They need to recognize they're already master problem solvers and efficiency experts. Let that sink in for a moment.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
You're already a master problem solver. You are already an efficiency aficionado. You know what? Here, let me give you an example. Let me share a story with you of one of my coaching clients. She was a single mom with 2 kids, both of them under 10, working a full-time job and dreaming of starting her own business. She kept telling herself that she needed to learn more about business before starting. How many of you feel that way? Many of you. But here's what I helped her realize. She was already running a successful operation. Think about it. She was managing a household budget. She was negotiating with little teeny tiny salespeople, aka toddlers. She was handling customer service. Yeah, that's those same tiny toddlers. And she was maintaining quality control for everything from homework to healthy meals. Yeah, you know what Sarah did? She took those exact same skills and applied them to her virtual assistant business. So instead of trying to follow some guru's morning routine advice, she created her own system. She handled clients' emails during her kids' soccer practice. She used her lunch break for client calls, and she did her deep work after their bedtime. Within 6 months, she had replaced her corporate income. The key wasn't learning new skills. No, it was recognizing and leveraging the skills she already had. Here's what makes my entrepreneurial parents, and especially my single entrepreneurial parents out there, natural entrepreneurs. You're already really comfortable with uncertainty. You make decisions without having every single bit of information available to you. You're used to wearing multiple hats because you have to. And most importantly, you know how to get shit done, even when conditions aren't perfect for getting that shit done. Right? I can hear some of you out there nodding right now. But let me tell you something, and this is important, so listen up. Whatever you're doing right now, I want you to just pause for a quick second and lean in. Come back to me. Stop looking at your single parent status like it's a fucking limitation. Sorry, I had to say it that way, but it's the truth. It, I believe, is your superpower. You've already mastered the hardest parts of entrepreneurship. You just didn't know it yet. Yeah. Now, let's talk about how to take these natural abilities and turn them into a strategic approach for business success. All right? This is where we're going to talk about what I call that strategic success triangle. Right? Little triangle right there going on for you. But hold on. Wait. Before you start thinking, oh, great, another management lecture, let me stop you right there. This one is going to be a little bit different. This is about working smarter, not harder. Something you're probably pretty damn good at already. Let's start with the first side of our triangle, and that's going to be time mastery. However, I want you to notice one thing I did not say. I didn't say time management. There's a reason I didn't say time management. You see, you can't manage time. It moves whether you want it to or not. How many of you have taken a clock off the wall and said, okay, I need you to move slower? It doesn't work. But you can master how you use it. Here's what most people, I think, are getting wrong out there. They try to find more damn time. Well, we all get the same amount every single day. But you and I both know that's like trying to squeeze water from a rock. Can't be done. Ain't gonna do it. You get the same 24. Instead, let's talk about time stacking. Yeah. Ooh, what is that? Well, let me give you an example. Let's say you're sitting at your kid's basketball practice, right? Well, that's just not another time for sitting around wasting and waiting. That's prime time for business planning. There you go. While they're out there practicing and getting their game on, you could be sitting there getting your game on. Your kids doing their homework? Well, that's your chance to engage with your social media audience. You see what I'm doing here? We're not finding more time. We're mastering the time that we already have, because you're not going to get more. Okay, now let's talk about the second side of our triangle, and that is the financial foundation. And I can hear already what some of you are saying, but Tracy, I can barely keep up with the bills I already have. I get it. I've been there. I feel your pain. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to think like a business owner, not a damn employee. And here's what that means. Start with what you have. Even if what you have is a dime, $1, $2, $10, make strategic investments, not emotional ones. Let me say that again. Make strategic investments, not emotional ones. Create multiple streams of income, even if they're really tiny at first. And most importantly, separate your personal finances from your business finances from day one. I know it sounds crazy, but here's the thing. Most businesses fail not because they're not making money. Most businesses fail because they're not managing the money they're making right from the jump. And as a single parent, you guys sitting out there listening that are single parents right now, you already know how to stretch a dollar. You already know how to make that money last to the end of the month. So let's apply that skill to your business. And now, the third side of the triangle, and this one, my friends, I think is the real game changer, and that's why it's the bottom part of the triangle, support systems. Stop trying to do everything all by your damn self. Building an empire requires a village, and it requires that village first. Let that sink in for a minute. And here's what's really funny about this. As single parents, we're often, let's say, the worst when it comes to asking for help. Why? Well, it's because we're so used to doing everything ourselves that we forget that you don't have to.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
So here's what a support system looks like for you, my friends. 1 is a business accountability partner. 2, reliable childcare backup plan. Shit happens. Sometimes you're going to need to be away when you least expect it. Have that backup plan. Virtual assistants for tasks that drain your energy. Put your energy where it's best used. And yes, you even need a community of other single parent entrepreneurs. Maybe that's an opportunity for you to come over and join us over at the Dark Horse Entrepreneur. You can check that out down at darkhorseschooling.com/tribe. Find some of those parent entrepreneurs out there with you. Let me tell you something at this point that might just shock you. The most successful entrepreneurs that I know are not the ones that do every damn thing themselves. No, they don't. They're the ones who've mastered the art of building and leveraging their support systems. Yeah, of course they didn't do it overnight, but think about this, if you will. Let's say you were building a house. Would you try to do the plumbing and the electrical and the roofing and the siding and the plastering all by yourself? Go ahead. I'll wait for the answer. Of course you wouldn't. So why are you trying to do everything in your business all by yourself? Here's the real secret, my friends. When you combine these 3 elements, time mastery, financial foundation, and support systems, something really magical happens. They don't just add up. They multiply. They stack one on top of another, building this foundation, and each one makes the other even more powerful. Now, let's talk about how we can put this triangle into action with a business model that works with your life, that works really for your life. Yeah, see, this, my friends, I think is where the rubber really meets the road, because I want to talk about the kind of business model that actually works for you, for my parents out there, juggling parenthood, juggling kids and times and courses and everything else that's going on out there. Hold on, let me pause this for a quick second and ask you a question. Do you want to know what really drives me completely batshit crazy? It is when I see those business gurus, he says with air quotes, pushing complicated business models that require you to be in 17 places at once, or to do 17 things at once, or to juggle this while you're doing that, and over here and learning that. Yeah, that's just what a parent needs, right? More places to be. Not. Let me break down the types of businesses that actually, I believe, make sense for parents, especially single parents. First up, digital products. Why? because they sell while you sleep. You've heard it all the time. Make money while you sleep. Well, digital products is one of the arenas that do that. Think about it. You create it once and it keeps earning you money. And it doesn't matter whether your digital product is an online course, a digital download, maybe it's a printable, maybe you create some sort of template for something you're really good at. And here's the other beautiful thing about digital products. You don't need to be there 24/7. They work for you while you're at the kids' recital or while you're actually in there in the kitchen, at the table, lights on, helping them with their homework. Now, the next one is a service-based business with boundaries. What was that? I want you to notice what I said, with boundaries, because that, my friend, is crucial. Here's what I'm talking about. Virtual assistants, social media management, freelance writing, or even consulting. Here's the key, though, and I want you to listen closely because this, my friends, is super important. You set the hours, you set the terms, and then you stick to them. Oh, yes. Your business should fit into your life, not the other way around. Let that marinate for a second. Your business should fit into your life, not the other way around. Now, let's talk about starting with zero overwhelm. Oh man, we got enough going on. We don't need any more overwhelm because let's be honest, you got enough on your plate already, don't you? Yes, I know you do. Been there, done that. Here's my 3-step process for a smooth start. Step number 1, start with one thing. That's why it's number 1. Start with one, not 3 things, not 5 things, not 47, not even 2. One thing. Start with that one thing, master it, systematize it, then and only then can you think about adding the next thing, okay? Step number 2, let's use what I call the nap time strategy. Remember back when your kids were little, or maybe your kids are still little, in nap time was like sacred, wasn't it? Yes. So let's apply the same principle to your business. Pick your most productive time block in your day, whether it's 4 a.m. in the morning or 4 p.m. at night or the middle of the day, whatever it is, you know when you're most productive. Pick that most productive time block and protect it like it's your nap time. Make it just as sacred as nap time. And then step number 3, use the MVP approach. Yep, the MVP approach is your minimum viable product. Don't wait to be perfect. Don't build the 47 video course. Launch with something that's good enough and improve as you go. Launch with something that is provable and then add to it. Perfect is the enemy of done, my friends.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Okay? Now, let me share something personal here. When I was rebuilding my life and rebuilding my business, I tried to do everything at once. You know what happened? Yeah, you know exactly what happened. It was a complete shit show. It was complete chaos. It wasn't until I slowed down, took a breath, and focused on one thing at a time that things started clicking, that things started moving forward. I did one, I got good at it. I got mastery at it. I got so good at it, I could just automate it, or I could do it so fast, then I can add thing number 2, and bam, and on and on. So here's your permission slip, my fellow parents. You don't need to build your entire damn empire overnight. No, start small, start focused, and most importantly, start with something that fits into your life, into the life that you already have and that you want. But think about this. If your business is causing more stress than your day job, maybe you're doing something wrong. Just a thought for you to consider. The goal here isn't to create yet another full-time job for yourself. No, the goal is to create freedom. The goal is to create the freedom of time, the freedom of money, and the freedom of choice. Well, I got a song in my head now. All right. That brings us to my favorite time in every single episode, and that's time for a little bit of whiskered wisdom. And oh boy, do I have a powerful one for you today. Today's whiskered wisdom is what I want to call the power of parallel progress. And this one's a game changer for all my parent entrepreneurs out there, especially single parent entrepreneurs. Here's a nugget of wisdom. I want you, if you remember nothing else today than this moment right now, I want you to take this away for today. Every moment you can serve 2 purposes if you plan it right. Let me say that again. Every single moment of every single day, you can serve 2 purposes if you plan it right. Let me break this down with a couple of real world examples. And this kind of pivots off what we talked about earlier. If you're sitting out there in the bleachers and your kid is practicing their sports, that's not just practice time. Maybe that's your podcast listening and learning time. Maybe that's your email catch-up time. Maybe that's your client call return time. Huh? 2 things. Hey, how about you're cooking dinner? You're making that favorite meal for those little munchkins that you loved so dearly. That's the perfect time for you maybe to record some voice notes for the content that you want to make. Pop, the idea pops into your head, grab that little phone, speak right into it while you're still stirring your favorite meal. Taking the kids to the park? Well, maybe that's your chance to network with other parents who, by the way, might just be your ideal clients. You see what I'm doing here? We're not trying to find that extra time again like we talked about earlier. We're parallel pathing. We're maximizing the time that we're given, which is only 24 hours a day. This is not about multitasking. It's about parallel progress. So here's your action step I want you to take for today. And I think you should. You should want this. Take out your phone. Maybe you have it out right now because you're listening to me. Open a notes app, whatever notes app you happen to be using, and write down 3 of the regular activities that you do with your kids. Now, next to each one of those, write down a single business task that you could naturally fit right in parallel with that time without taking away the experience with your kids. Yeah, get a little creative. Take a moment. Go ahead. You can do it. I'll be here when you're done. Okay, you're back? Good. Remember this. You don't have to choose between being a great parent or building a successful business. You can and you will do both. The magic happens when you figure out how to do both at the same time. Heck, you might even be teaching them how to be an amazing business person as you do it. All right, my Dark Horse friends and family, let's bring this home and recap kind of what we've covered today, shall we? We started by flipping the script on what it means to be a parent entrepreneur, especially a single parent entrepreneur, recognizing that your daily juggling act has equipped you with some serious business skills. Then we broke down the strategic success triangle: time mastery, not time management, building that solid financial foundation, and then the base of our triangle, creating a crucial support system. Then we dove into a couple of flexible business models that could actually work for you as an entrepreneurial parent, as a single entrepreneurial parent, because let's be honest here, your business needs to work around your life, not your life working around your business. And here's what I really want you to take away from today's episode. Being a parent entrepreneur, being a single parent entrepreneur, it's not about perfect balance. It is about, however, well choreographed integration, maybe even perfect integration. Yeah? Listen, you're not just building a business, you're building a legacy. You're showing your kids what's possible. And trust me, they are watching. You're demonstrating that challenges aren't roadblocks. No, they're stepping stones to something greater. And trust me, I'm going to say this again, they're watching. All right, now as we wind this down, if this episode lit a little bit of a fire in your belly, and I hope it did, I got something special for you. Look, because here's the thing, I know you're busy. I know you're probably listening to this while you're doing laundry or you're wiping up another spill that your favorite little munchkin just left behind. That's exactly why I created something specifically for my dark horse-driven entrepreneurs just like you. You want to stay ahead of the game. You want to get the latest digital marketing strategies delivered straight into your inbox. And here's the thing, I'm talking about real actionable tips that you can implement right away to grow your side hustle into your main hustle. All you got to do is head on over to darkhorseschooling.com/newsletter and sign up for the Dark Horse Digital Marketing Newsletter. Yeah. So whether you're starting, restarting, or just kickstarting your entrepreneurial journey, this newsletter is your secret weapon. And here's the best part, absolutely free. Check it out. If you like it, cool. If you don't, that's cool too. No strings attached. Just pure valuable content and private behind-the-scenes interviews designed to help you win in the digital space. Until next time, my Dark Horse friends and family, remember, you already have the skills and the knowledge that you need and can market. So get out there, think successfully, and take action.
Hey, my Dark Horse entrepreneur parents, thanks for tuning in. If this episode struck a chord, share it with a fellow parent hustler. Let's grow our tribe that thrives, not just survives. For more insights and a community that totally gets it, join our Facebook group at www.darkhorsechooling.com/tribe. Think successfully and take action.
Hey, it's Parker Posey. How did I get here? I love improvisation when it comes to acting, but when it comes to a real-life plan, I stick to a script. Cue the music.
Invest in your story with DIA, the only ETF that tracks the Dow. From State Street. Getting there starts here. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit statestreet.com/IM for prospectus containing this and other information. Read it carefully. DIA is subject to risks similar to those of stocks. All ETFs are subject to risk, including possible loss of principal. ALPS Distributors, Inc. Distributor.